This section is going to go over Math 111 3.4. Continuing back with graphing, slope is the steepness of a line. So when we talk about the slope, we're talking about how fast it goes up and over while we're going. A way to remember that is rise over run. Rise is your y values. So these should actually be switched because your y is your up and down, and then your run is your left and right. So one way to write that is they do delta y over delta x, which is the Greek letter for delta, and it just means change. The change in y over the change in x. And what that really is saying is subtract the y values from the points, subtract the x values from the points, and that's how you find the slope of the line. A positive slope goes up as you move to the right. A negative slope goes down as you move to the right. A zero slope is just a horizontal line. It's flat. It doesn't go up as it moves over. Whereas an undefined slope is a vertical line straight up and down. And that is undefined because you can't have a zero on the bottom of an equation. So that's where that would come from. So those are different ways to look at the slopes. If you're graphing them, you're going to find the points and just count how many you go up and over or down and over as between the 2 points. So if we have this point here and this point here, we're going to count. One thing you want to pay attention to is the scales, because if they go up by, for example, 2s, you're going to want to count each thing. So this is 1, this is 0, -1, -2. So when we go down from this point, we go down 1, down 2, down 3, so -3. And then we go to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So down 3 to the right 6. If we reduce that, 3 divided by 3 is 1, 6 divided by 3 is 2. So our slope is -1/2. Meaning from this original point, if I went down 1 over 2, I'd have another point. Down 1 over 2, I'd have another point. Down 1 over 2, I have another point. So that's how you find the slope. Here we have these 2 points. Can you find the slope? So again, these go by 2s. So down 1, down 2. Right 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's -2 over 4, which reduces to the same. They will not always be -1/2. You just find it by counting when you're graphing. Using the formula, that's the one up here with the y's on top, you take 2 points. Remember, our points are x comma y. So we're going to pick 1 point and call it 1. And we're going to pick 1 point and call it 2. And that's how we get our x1 and our x2. So the y goes on top, y1 minus y2. And then on the bottom, we do the x's, x1 minus x2. Now, it doesn't matter which point you call 1 and which point you call 2, as long as you put it first for both the top and the bottom. Then we do the math. 3 minus 3 is 0. -1 minus 2 is -3. 0 divided by anything is 0. So the slope of this line is 0, meaning it's a horizontal line. Can do another one. You can pause the video and try it or keep watching. It's up to you. So my y's are going to be 5 minus 6. My x's, 1 minus -2. 5 minus 6 is -1. 1 minus a negative is plus, so 1 plus 2 is 3. So the slope between those 2 points would be -1/3. And this last one, 3 minus -2. Which minus a negative is a plus, so 3 plus 2 is 5. Then we do the x's, -3 minus -3, which is 0. We can't have 0 on the bottom, so this is undefined. So it's an undefined slope. Sometimes I'll write it like that, a little line through it. And that also means it's a vertical line. Once you know how to plot points and how to use a slope, you can graph a line with just that information. For example, if we're given the point 1 comma 4, we go 1 on the x, up 4. Then we have a slope, negative 2/3. So that means we go down 2, right 3, put a new point. Down 2, right 3, put a new point. You can do that as many times as you want. You can also go in the reverse direction, and now we have our line. So the second one, point 0 comma 3. So over 0, up 3. And our slope is negative 2. Now, you can make any whole number a fraction by putting it over 1. So now, whenever you have a slope, we're going down 2 over 1. Down 2, right 1, down 2, right 1, and we have our line. So there's how you find the slope and use the slope graphically. And in word problems, slope is your rate of change. So for example, miles per hour, inches per week, sit-ups per day. It's that constantly changing rate. I don't know why this is crooked, I'm sorry. But it's this constantly changing rate that happens over and over again. So if we read this word problem, when a company manufactures 2,000 MP3 players, its profit is $10,000. And when it manufactures 4,500 MP3 players, its profit is $3,500. So find the slope. We have 2 points. The first point is 2,000 and 10,000. Those numbers, if we say MP3 players are X, money is Y, we have 1 point. So the other point would be 4,500 and 35,000. So MP3 players, money. Now we use our slope formula to find the points. So Y minus Y, so 35,000 minus 10,000 is 25,000. And then we would do 4,500 minus 2,000, which is 2,500. And if I were to put that in a calculator to reduce it, so we're doing 25,000 divided by 2,500, we get 10. So our slope is 10. What that means, and if we left it as a fraction, it would be 10 over 1. And we said X was MP3 players and Y was money. Money goes on top, right? Y goes on top. So this is like saying money per MP3 player. So they're charging $10 per MP3 player. That's how you would interpret it as a rate of change. You put it in the terms of the problem. So that is 3-4. Let me know if you have any questions.